everyone, welcome to another Rexy's Violet video. First prompt of this video is going to be this thing. So here's the first prompt. It's kind of nestled up against the woodshed I showed from last episode. And the area out here is just this big garden thing here, which I actually really like the colors in, because if you can see on here, I put mycelium blocks for the soil block. The rest of it is these yellow blocks, bamboo and yellow terracotta. And it works with the torch flower because it's got the purple and the yellow in it as well. So that's a cool looking thing that I like. And then there's these things that I made. This is supposed to be like a rest stop kind of thing to be used by people coming down the pathway, because this connects up with the main path system with the rest of my area. There's a big a path coming along this side here, because I figured that was a convenient place to put it, and go into the tops of the towers here, which are actually little homes. And there's a bunch of little potion stuff around here, because the prompt lister I pulled for this had a bunch of potions and stuff in it, so I figured these guys are like alchemists or something. Nope, that's not what I did. Up here, there's ladders into a little chisel bookshelf area, and I use the same trick I've been using by selecting the special colors with the books, which makes some awkward spacing stuff happen here, but it still does look interesting. So I'm a fan of that technique so far. In this area, got, well, first of all, this dude, because the inhabitants of this area are supposed to be zombie dudes who live in here. There's some beds and pots and some barrels of more potion stuff, and arrows. Yes, forgot that word for a minute. And there's a little table down here as well. And the bunk bed's got a ladder and stuff. Up here, the other zombie got different clothing and stuff. Got some books, lectern, some banners, and loom and stuff, because he's supposed to be an artist. This guy maybe is the one who does the brewing, and it works with all the stuff that's over here. And there's a library too, because why not? And that's pretty much it for this. It looks about the same all around it, because this wasn't really meant to be a standout build. It's just gonna blend in with the rest of the area. And this is going to be the second prompt. And here we have the second prompt. This is going to be an interesting one, because this is supposed to be a business. But this is not only any business, this is Golem-pkins, or Golem-pkins Incorporated. They sell pumpkins, and they're really suspicious and seedy is what this is supposed to be evoking. There's a little rickety pathway coming up here, and I didn't finish that block, sorry. Only noticing that now, apparently. But yeah, it's got this little rickety walkway kind of coming up here. There is random clerk, looks kind of bored. There's the little employees only thing, I'll get to there in a minute. And this is the main buying area. They sell pumpkins, so they're on a bunch of racks, I guess, instead of in a patch or something. Because I guess that adds to the suspiciousness. And go in here, the employees only area, you kind of have to crouch under that. And you go down this little trapdoor into a weird basement. You've got the rocks and stuff that are next to this. So I figured I would continue into here. There's some reserve pumpkins, and there's another thing which goes up here, which is even more pumpkins. It's in this little enclosure here. They've got a bunch extra. Go down to here, there's this ancient temple thing that's been left here, and they're hiding it in here, and they're using it as a warehouse because they have no respect for anything. So you come down here, it's a library. It's a rainbow library. If you look at what I've done with the colors, I've been using this little trick, using the slots that have the specific colored books in them, and I made a little rainbow with it, so it's cool. There's also lots of little rainbow candles around the place. I did some nice gradients on the floor as well, which I didn't realize brown could look that nice before, but apparently it can. I also used some of the dev paintings. This is the earth one. I used the like wall panel and water one, just as like a little art piece. And there's obviously like there's tons of pumpkins around here. They're using it as a warehouse. And on the sides of things here, we have like some portals. This one's I'll start with. It's like chained up and there's iron bars and stuff. Because this is like forbidden. It's got some new particles actually that were just added. These are the trial spawner particles. Even though they haven't added the actual trial chambers and trial spawners into the game yet, in this version at least. I think there's like a experimental version you can play with them on, but they have added particles, and I do really like how they look. And the portal brings us out into this like cave here, and you can like walk through it, but that's gonna take too long, so I'm just gonna zoom through on spectator mode, and it's cave, and there's like glow lichen around the place. It's winding, and no, you notice that the floor starts to turn into endstone here. To go to here, you see it's lava. It's a big cavern, which I blasted out with TNT, which is why it looks sort of rectangular. But ignore that. There's a bunch of like endstone bridges, spires, whatever you call them. There's some end rods to make it lit up, and on each of these there's a purple like podium with a elytra on it. An elytra, however you would say. I don't know. A singular elytra is set in these item frames. And it's supposed to be like they're like some ancient relics, right? Because you can only get elytra in the end. So these are like ancient end relics. And this is the other portal, which is opened up. It's got snow up there, and it's kind of a nice purpley thing. I used Dragon's Breath particles on this one. I really like the color they have on them. Good. Here brings you out to Snowland, which is I always do that. I always click the trapdoors. Okay, this is like the main area where the Golem-pkins Inc. work, because what they do is they go out and they capture wild snowmen and they like pen them up, and then they shear the pumpkins off them, sell the pumpkins, and then they throw the snowmen into the melting pit to get rid of the evidence, because they are evil, and they murder snowmen for the pumpkins. And this is just like a big warehouse. I used a bunch of ice and stuff in here. Also, something interesting, soul lanterns and soul torches will not melt ice, so you can use them as a light source for builds made of ice, which is cool. And this is a pumpkin warehouse. It's got another big trapdoor, because they like their trapdoors and Pumpkins Inc. or whatever. Crap. Golem-pkins Inc. There's some pumpkins up there. I know it looks a little sparse, but this would actually be a lot of pumpkins, I think. Because each one of those was like a golem they killed. And as for the portal is, of course, there's like a little thing I put here just to keep snowmen from wandering in and triggering the pressure plates, like teleporting me halfway across the world. Because that's happened to some of my other portals, by the way. I had a chicken walk on the one that goes into the portal hub and like pulled me away from a build somewhere, which was interesting. There's a bunch of pens and stuff with captured snow golems. Over here, this is a special pen. I just had to find some use for it because I was trying to figure out what I was making pens and eventually just settled on like the normal looking ones. But I made this crazy one here, which is premium wild snow golems reserved for paying customers. Sure. Nothing different about them other than they're being called premium. Over here, this is just like a little storage shack with the leads for capturing the snow golems and shears, I guess, for pulling off the pumpkins. And there's this area. It's got nothing in it. It's just a weird little loft area. There's some more pens and stuff back here. And then here is the main like building. There's some iron golems spawned up here. So I call them the Golem-pkins Incorporated Security Golems. And they're golems here, of course, because there are villagers in here. And this is supposed to be like a, I don't know, assembly line kind of thing. Is they bring the pumpkins they shear in here, and they put them on this thing, and it goes through a machine that like stuffs in the holes, so you can't tell they were from a snow globe. It looks like a normal pumpkin, and this is the piles of normal pumpkins. See, these are the Golem-pkins corporate employees. They've got the like icy looking stuff because they're snow variant villagers. These guys must be stuck or something because majority of them should be sleeping up here in the villager quarters. I think I might have messed up their what's the word, pathfinding or something because a lot of these guys keep getting confused, sleeping in each other's beds and like getting stuck in weird places. But villagers are not really the brightest anyway. And here we have the third prompt, and here it is. And I didn't do anything super big with this one. I just used it to do a bunch of little details. So I'll just show you them. I detailed the mountainside, the ranch thing from a while ago. It's on. I put a lot of blue flowers on it, a nice little gradient going from like green to teal, cyan. And over on the side, you can see it goes into the sculpt color and black concrete because I thought it was going to be bigger than that, but it actually wasn't. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I made the trees a little like taller and more conifer looking. I made a little waterfall here because there was like a lava fall before. Put bits of glass on it as well to make it look like kind of suds from waterfall going into other water. I don't know how you say that. When it's like splashing and foaming up and stuff. There's like some paths around here. I had some detailing here. This is just like a cauldron of nastiness. Spider Wizard probably isn't a very nice fellow. I feel like he would just have that outside his house. I also added a bunch of like cobwebs and stuff. Because somebody pointed out to me I probably should have some cobwebs on here, and I was sort of annoyed at myself. I didn't think of that myself. But there's this here as well. This is Golem Curiosities, just some name I made up. I hope that doesn't mean anything mean in a different language. But it's a lot of like interesting woodwork out here because I feel like since this is like the northern end of the area, they have some different architecture. So they have like stuff like a bunch of gates and stuff in front of their doors. And it's this dude, Schwarnum, who lives here and sells stuff. There's all sorts of weirdness around here. It's like boots and pickles and flowers, more boots, candles. There's some ancient debris, there's a pot, there's a turtle hat, amethyst, cake, minecart, sea lantern, books. I use the color control thing with these as well, just because I find that such an interesting thing. There's also this little light fixture here, which when you look at it here, it almost doesn't look right. Like it doesn't look Minecrafty when you have the pixels at an angle there. But I think that's interesting anyway. And fly back out here. Path continues. There's this little thing, which honestly is not very good. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. But this is like a weird little pink bunker. And these two will just live here. And this is their house and stuff. And the path continues up this way. And it connects with the manor people. It goes down this way and connects with the horn, the alarm horn. Yep. And there's also another path I put down here, which goes down from the ranch and just will connect to wherever that path will be. And I think that's everything I did. I'm pretty sure it's everything I did. Well, not super important if I miss a detail, as I didn't do that much today anyways, or at least in this one. But that is the end of the video, so thank you for watching, and goodbye.